Star-crossed lover. Exactly.
One of the fundamental questions for any teacher, regardless of the grade level or the subject matter, is how to make the students fall in love with the material as much as we as teachers love it. I remember reading the plays of Shakespeare in high school and college without falling in love with them, but that changed for me in grad school, thanks to an enthusiastic professor and the availability of performances, both live and on film. So in my own teaching, I've tried to start with enthusiasm. I've tried to always include performance and sometimes to use technology. And last summer, when I went to the 10th World Shakespeare Congress in Stratford and London, there I had a chance to meet with other faculty from all over the world and talk about how to teach digital Shakespeare in this new world. One thing we discovered last spring in the Shakespeare class is that the 16 students were using 8 different versions of the text because there is now a multiplicity of varieties available. But they were using several different platforms, some on laptops, some on their tablets, some even on their cell phones. And something really changes in the classroom when literally the teacher and the student are not on the same page. But if that multiplicity of texts creates problems, the multiplicity of performances is a wonderful opportunity. Students can now access over 250 professional quality performances of Shakespeare's plays on DVD or on streaming video. And that really makes a difference in how they come to understand the plays. But what is the role of the teacher in such a performance-centered, student-centered classroom?
3 words summarize what this play is about.
One of the things the teacher still can do is set the context for the student learning by posing questions, by inviting them to look at key scenes, by framing what's going to happen before they read or before they watch. The next step that's really important is inviting the students to review after they read or they view. For the last 10 years, Meredith students have been writing reviews of live performances and of film performances. Over 400 different student articles are now available. And what has changed is the way the students talk about and think about their writing when they know the audience is not just the teacher, but it's their classmates or whoever is tuning in from around the world. After we consider the multiplicity of texts and the multiplicity of filmed performances, the next step, it seems to me, is for students to create their own performances. We start in class with a particular speech or a famous scene. Then they move to getting a partner and bring in props and costumes into that performance. But the ultimate goal is for students then to create their own filmed performances that then we can post online and again can be shared all over the world. We got started on this last spring with a creative young colleague, Dr. Tina Romanelli, when we recruited Meredith students and faculty and alums like Judge Sarah Parker to record for us one of Shakespeare's 154 sonnets.
In loving thee, thou knowest I am forsworn, but thou art twice forsworn, to me love swearing.
The next project for us is going to be to work with the Meredith Technology Services Office to make films of performances that we'll share. So these are the kinds of things that I talked about with my colleagues at the World Shakespeare Congress last summer. How the world of Shakespeare studies is being transformed by performance, by technology, and by new student creativity. If that's what I took to England, what did I bring back? In my 9 days last summer, I was able to attend 7 professional productions of plays I regularly study and teach. Hamlet at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre in Stratford, The Taming of the Shrew and Macbeth at London's recreated Globe Theatre, and a production of Romeo and Juliet directed by Kenneth Branagh. At the conference, I saw performances under original staging conditions in Elizabethan costume with men playing women. I was able to hear musicians performing on 16th century instruments on an outdoor stage and to witness amazing candlelit theater indoors. While in Stratford, I was invited on a private tour of Shakespeare's birthplace and the family home New Place, the grammar school where Shakespeare is presumed to have attended, and Holy Trinity Church, where Shakespeare is buried. Most importantly, I worked with scholars from around the world on the topic of digital Shakespeare to investigate new ways of teaching and researching and archiving the brave new world of Shakespeare studies today. This amazing educational experience was made possible by Meredith College faculty development support, and all of these scholarly adventures have already begun to transform the Shakespeare courses at Meredith.